Good morning, my garden YouTube friends. Last day of April, so I just wanted to give you a little walk around the backyard. I already did the front yard for you, so I wanted to show you the backyard. My plumeria are all blooming, some more so than others, and this will go on. This is, let's just call it May, June, July, August. I'll have them just for about the next 3 or 4 months in a very slow pattern. But they really came out with a real flush here, and we had some heavy rains, and our nights are about 70 degrees and the daytimes are in the 80s. We're going into the 90s, so boy, that plumeria just love that weather. It really knocks them out, gives them a good fresh start. But you can see I've got one big tree, and then I've got, this is actually 2 trees over here. And then if you swing the whole way around my yard, then I've got the 2 over there that are big trees, and then some smaller ones. And then I have ones on my back porch, and the rest I've given away because I'm getting too heavy on plumeria. But the tea plants look good. I've got some little things planted underneath them, some blue days, and I'm trying to get some spathiphyllum peace lilies in underneath there, with the hopes that it'll give them a little bit of shade and then they will bloom. And I have loads of Agapanthus everywhere coming up, and also caladiums. The red ones in the front are a dragon heart, I believe. And you can see I even have one Amaryllis. The Amaryllis really start for me in February, and they bloom through March and April. And then you see there's another smaller plumeria tree. But I'll show you, I wanted to show you how these bloom. And you can see how this is coming up. Do I have one that's even smaller? Let me go way down here. And you can see, look at that. Look at the cluster. And those will all come out and bloom on anything. They're really prolific. I have a big staghorn in the back, but I have no place for it. And I keep trying to find a home for it, but I just haven't found the right home. I don't just give my plants away to anybody. You have to really be a good caretaker or have a good heart. Anyway, I thought I'd show you the sunflowers, and I'm my own little shadow here. Sunflowers, and the sunflowers are actually from the bird feeder. I have 3 of the 4 grasses that I planted last year came back, and 1, 2, 3. This year I planted marigolds all in the back. I'm going to do a marigold year. And these are like the big orange ones, big yellow ones that I have in the front yard. The tea plants, they're kind of hanging in there. They didn't come back from a lot of the winter freeze. Crepe Myrtle, this is the volunteer that was in the front yard, and I brought it back here. And the Florida maple, when it first came out about a month ago, it started to leaf out. All the leaves were red because this is a Florida red maple, and I can see that, you know, as it's getting its full leaf, the leaves are picking up more, I guess, photosynthesis and really turning green. And then here's a smaller, this is a raspberry crepe myrtle. And let's see, I have more amaryllis that I planted back here just as small bulbs. And all the ones I have in the pots, I think I'm going to bring back and actually just put into the landscape. My neighbor brought me his big bag of grass clippings, and so I put down cardboard as barrier, as a weed barrier, and then put all of his grass clippings on top. and it actually looks very pretty, doesn't it? It gives it that uniformed look. And then I had another neighbor who cut down a lot of his bamboo, and so I brought home some big branches and kind of laid those in the front. I'm trying to think of what I could do or what I could make with it. The papaya that my friend Donna gave me, it really went through a little bit of transplant shock, but now it seems to be really kicking. So maybe by next year I'll get some fruit off of it. That would be really special. And my compost pile is just dwindling down. I've been using it in different sections, and probably in another few weeks I'm going to get it started again. And I do that with just brown paper bags that I've shredded, or any kind of cardboard or anything, and grass clippings. And so that works really well. I've got some parsnips here in the front. I wasn't sure if they would take off. I've never had a parsnip before, but they seem to be rocking. And a few there, and some beans. I harvested all the beans. This was a bush bean, and it was, I think I got them from Baker's Creek, and they were great. I mean, for little 1-foot plants, I probably got 8 or 10 off of each one. So if I do it next year, I will plant more, of them. Let me just take you over here. It's a little sunny, but let me take you over here. These are the sweet peas that I planted, and I planted them a few months ago, and you can see I'm just starting to get blooms off of them. But suddenly, as soon as we got warm, then they seem to be kind of hanging on. You guys know that I planted the peas back here, and you see that they are peas no longer. As soon as we got hit with some really hot weather, even though I was watering them, they just took a hit. So I pulled them out, and I'll decide what I'm going to do with them next. But for the meantime, I'll keep an eye here on the sweet peas. I think I have more blooms coming up on all of the tops. And here is a row of more marigolds, and I have basil planted in between my tomatoes, and as you can see I have some little, these are a plum tomato, and so hopefully the basil will keep any hornworm away. And over here I'm still picking these carrots. They are huge and they're just gorgeous. Let me just see if I can pull up one for you. It's in there. Yep, there we go. We call that a snack, and looks pretty good to me. And more of my caladiums are coming up. This is sweet potato vine that I just planted a few little slips and planted some sunflowers in the center of it. I wonder if it'll just be my cute little whatnot pot. The hibiscus are all looking good. I've really been trying to keep an eye on them with aphids. It seems to be my spot for aphids, both on this one and the one that's a little further down. And so I'm using basically a neem oil or ornamental dormant oil is what I'm using. I've tried using the BC powder in water and put a few drops of soap in with it, and that kind of keeps them down. So yeah, I try to do these things in an organic manner, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And as I'm looking along here, I'm just noticing a real treat for me, and that is the beans. Look, I've got bean blooms coming up. If you're following my channel here, you know that I have built a few of these little teepees, and I have greens growing underneath it, and this gets the afternoon sun in a real brutal way, and I thought perhaps if I planted some beans, then the beans would provide a little bit of shade, if nothing at all. So anyway, everything's growing. On this one is the first one, and I'm thinking that it needs to be used. I'll finish off my my salad use on this side, and then maybe get it started with something else that might tolerate the heat a little bit more. And this is the second one, and this is the giant Japanese red mustard that is just incredible. I mean, it grows like a beast. And I put just a couple marigolds in between, and I have also some oh shoot, what is that? Heat loving, a buckwheat. It will grow and be about a 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall. I grew it last year in a pot, and I actually used it for cut arrangements. It comes up, it has little flowers at the top, really pretty, and the stem is so much stronger than I thought it would ever be. But it was really pretty in some indoor flower arrangements. So more beans coming up. They haven't started to, but they are taking over over the teepee. And this is a big Agapanthus that in another month it's going to have some, tremendous blooms on it, and that'll be the showstopper in the backyard. I've got some hibiscus coming out. You can see I've got loads and loads of blooms. I don't think I have to look here, are there any? I don't see any aphids, so I think I'm doing my job. And back here, and of course our lovely fountain that just kind of gives us that really sweet sound here in the mornings. And you can see I actually have Mrs. Cardinal, who's decided to come for a little bite and stay maybe for a minute. There she is. What a gal. I think she likes to eat because I don't seem to bother her. Her husband is very finicky, and he'll stay on the fence. He doesn't want me anywhere near. So anyway, you can see the plumeria behind there. Aren't they pretty? It's lay making time. I will get up there on a ladder and take all those off, and I take them around to my neighbors, and everybody seems to like it, and they have a really pretty smell. So anyway, that's the end of April. Can you believe it? Can you believe we've made it to the end of April already? And I hope that you guys are enjoying any warmer weather that you have. And I hope that you'll come back and visit me again, because I sure do like seeing you guys. And when you make comments, it kind of lets me know if you like my channel, and I hope you do. And I like making this for you. So take care, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Bye-bye now.